your good knife, the one that ran $80, $100, maybe $150, is sitting in the block right now, dull. And the thing you grabbed to fix it, that $20 pull-through on the counter, has been quietly grinding it shorter every single time. Meanwhile, a knife forged in Sakai and kept on a stone stays razor sharp for decades, gets handed down. The gap is not the steel. It never was. It is what happens to the edge after it goes dull. And here is the thing. It is not the knife, and it is not you. You reached for the tool that looked like the obvious answer. By the end of this, you will have the simple stone routine that keeps an edge sharp for life, and you will know how to bring a dull or lightly chipped knife all the way back from wherever it is right now. There is a word for the tradition behind this, the idea that a good object is maintained, sharpened by hand, and passed on rather than replaced. That thread runs through everything in this video. Hold on to it, now. The villain. The pull-through sharpener feels completely sensible. You drag the blade through a few times, it catches. Something happens. Done. The problem is the fixed carbide wheels inside. They strip off a lot of steel at one fixed angle, and that angle almost never matches your knife, especially a Japanese blade, which is typically ground to something around 15 degrees. After a few sessions, the blade is noticeably shorter. The edge angle has been permanently changed. You are not sharpening the knife. You are slowly consuming it. Two things do the same kind of damage between sharpenings. A grooved steel honing rod, the kind that comes in most knife sets, can microchip hard Japanese steel, which runs somewhere around 60 to 63 on the hardness scale. Swap it for a smooth ceramic rod. And the dishwasher, plus glass or stone cutting boards, will roll and dull an edge faster than almost anything else you do in the kitchen. Before the steps, let me explain what sharpening actually is, because once you understand it, the method makes complete sense. You are removing a small amount of metal from the blade on a stone to form a fresh edge. You work one side until a tiny burr develops, a thin wire of metal, along the opposite side. That burr is the signal. It means the two sides have met at a new edge. Then you flip, even it out, and polish it smooth on a finer stone. That is sharpening. Honing is different. A few light passes on a smooth ceramic rod realign an edge that has slightly rolled over with use. No metal comes off. It is maintenance between sharpenings, not a substitute for them. The tool that makes all of this possible is the Whetstone, the toishi. It lets you control the angle precisely and take off only what is needed. That control is the whole reason it works where the pull-through does not. Step 1. Soak the toishi in water for a couple of minutes, or until the bubbles stop rising from the stone. Keep it wet throughout the whole session. A dry stone drags and does not cut cleanly. Step 2. Hold the blade at about 15 degrees to the stone, roughly the height of 2 stacked coins under the spine of the knife. If you are working with a Western knife rather than a Japanese one, aim for something closer to 20 degrees. Get that angle and hold it. This is the part that takes a few sessions to feel natural, and we will come back to that. Step 3. For a knife that is simply dull, no chips, just lost its edge, start on a medium stone, around 1,000 grit. Push the edge across the stone in steady, even strokes, keeping the angle consistent until you feel that slight burr forming along the far side of the blade. Run your thumb gently across, not along, the edge, and you will feel it. A faint catch, like a thin wire. Step 4. Flip the knife. Do the other side the same number of strokes to match. Even the burr out so both sides meet cleanly. Step 5. Move to a fine stone, somewhere in the 3,000 to 6,000 grit range. This polishes the edge and removes the burr. The knife goes from sharp to genuinely sharp. The difference you will feel the first time you slice something is not subtle. Between sharpenings, a few light passes on the smooth ceramic rod, maybe every few uses, to keep the edge from rolling. 30 seconds. That is the habit that stretches months between stone sessions. Now, the rescue. If the knife is very dull, the kind where it slides across a tomato instead of biting in, or if there is a small chip in the edge, do not start at 1,000 grit. Start coarse, around 400 grit, to reset the edge geometry first. Work there until you have a burr, then move up to 1,000, then finish on 3,000 to 6,000. 2 or 3 grit steps and a knife you had mentally written off comes back to a clean, biting edge. The same knife. No replacement. Just time on the stone. This is where the tradition behind it matters. Sakai, near Osaka, has been the center of Japanese knife making for centuries. The craft descended directly from swordsmithing. And in that lineage, the work is divided. One artisan forges the blade, another sharpens and finishes it. The whetstone has its own name, the toishi, and its own place in the process. In that world, a knife is not a disposable object. It is maintained, handed down, kept sharp by hand across generations. The edge is something you preserve, not something you consume and replace. That is the principle planted in the stone routine you just learned. The stone does not wear the knife out. It keeps it. Look at what this actually costs against what it saves. A good knife runs $80 to $150 or more. A whetstone runs about $30 to $50 and lasts for years of regular use. An electric sharpener costs $20 and spends that $20 grinding the blade shorter every time you use it. Kept on a stone, one knife outlasts a whole drawer of replacements. The math is not close. One honest note before you go. A deep chip or a broken tip is a bigger job than this routine covers. That takes a coarse repair stone and real patience, or a trip to a professional. And that is fine to admit. It is also genuinely rare. Traditional single-bevel Japanese knives, ground mostly on one side, take more practice to sharpen and are a different case than what we covered here. The standard double bevel is the straightforward one, and goes slow at first. The angle takes a few sessions to feel settled in your hands. Start on a cheap knife if you have one. Do not learn the motion on the good one. If this changed how you look at the knife you were about to replace, hit subscribe. Next week, we are covering the Japanese way to keep a wooden cutting